Good afternoon, guys, or good evening / good evening. How's everyone doing? Welcome to my channel, guys. Joey Barnett TV. Let me just get this camera sorted out. God, this is a bit unprofessional of me, isn't it? But I don't claim to be no professional anyway. I claim to be me. I'm just being the best version of myself I could possibly be. And if that don't please some people, then skip off my channel and go to someone else's. So, guys, how's everyone doing? Is everyone ready for the big Christmas rush? I'm not going to bang on too much about Christmas because there's a few different reasons why I won't bang on about Christmas. The main reason is because there is quite a few less fortunate people out there what live on this outside world, and also what live on the inside world behind the door. What haven't got the opportunities of what many other people have got. So some people may not be able to celebrate it in a way that other people can celebrate it. So I can't be seen to be, pushing that in people's faces too much. Because, I've got the mindset of, I do know there is some really, really poor people in this world what are starving to death and, are in war, what are in all sorts of really, really bad situations. So yeah, I'm not going to bang on about Christmas, guys. But to those that Christmas does mean anything to, I hope you have a nice Christmas. Hope you get everything what you wanted. And for me, Christmas is all about spending time around family. It's quality family times, sitting around that family table, having a bit of grub, having a chat about the good old days. To me, is priceless. It really fucking is. And yeah, what's made me do this video is seeing one of my cousins in town earlier on. And I've got a very, very large family, by the way, a very large family, and we're all local to each other. West Sussex and London, mostly them two areas. But yeah, we cover them areas quite well, actually. So yeah, I've got a very big family. And I just see one of my cousins earlier on in town when I was going for a walk with my missus and our grandson Luca. By the way, Luke is doing really, really well. Yes, he's really, really, really doing well. I'll do another video altogether about the baby, but all I can say is he's brought a load of joy to our lives, and he's put a lovely smile on our face. So yeah, guys. Anyway, getting back on the story. What made me come out of this video was I was in town earlier on, and I see my cousin Jason Gilmartin. Big shout out to you, Jason. Hope you're doing well, cuz. Hope you have a lovely Christmas. If I don't see you before then, because I probably will. He was with my niece, which is my sister's daughter, Michelle Butters. Big shout out to you, Shell. I know you was hanging or wearing a hangover from last night, so I hope you get over that. Best thing to that is the airing the dog, as we all know. But yeah, guys. So, started talking to me cousin because I'm one of them types of guys where I've got such vast experiences in a lot of different aspects of life that I can literally talk for England. And they love hearing my stories and my mindset, how my mindset is, and how how I am today, how good I'm doing today. It's lovely to speak to my family. It really is. But yeah, this is what made me come out of this video, because he said about age and how did I change and what age did I stop. And I said to him, and this goes for everyone, this is my mindset. If if you're a bit of a live wire, if you're whatever you're doing in life, but whatever pathway you've chosen in life, you must, if it's a naughty one or it's on the outside lane, and you're getting up to a bit of skullduggery, then my way of thinking is you must change by the time you hit your 40s. Because if you go into your late 40s, into your 50s, into your 60s, you're not going to have a very good life at the end of the day. You're going to be looking over your shoulder, feeding that habit, whatever it may be, and not really spending your last quality of your last few years being the best version of yourself. So yeah, it's all right getting up to funs and games, when you're in your 20s and your 30s, because you've got enough time to get them years back, you know. And to be honest with you, it's my past which has shaped the person what I am today. So that's why when people say to me, do I regret my past? There is certain aspects what I do regret, things like spending decades in jail, of course. But, you know, it wasn't all doom and gloom in there. I did have some good times. Actually, I'd a few of the best times of my life in jail. And, you know, it installed that them stories into me for life. And I'll take them to to my grave with me. But I'm not glamorising prison, by the way. But what I'm saying is, you know, you've got to change your mindset. You've got to change your ways by the time you hit your 40s, guys, to give yourself a bit of a chance. Now we're 5 minutes in. I'm going to have a little chat with you about the title, which I'm going to call this video, which would be about probably HMP prison. Now, what is it like to be in prison on Christmas Day? Now, I'm going to just quickly go through it and tell you the regime and what happens on the wings in prison. When you're in prison, Christmas is a very, very emotional time for every single inmate, most inmates, up and down the country. Doesn't matter how old you are, what religion you are. Well, that could come into it, by the way, because not all religions celebrate Christmas. My bad. But you know what I'm trying to say to you. Christmas is a very emotional time for a lot of people in prison. And to be totally honest with you, the quicker the day and the night goes in prison is, you know, the better for you. You know, a lot of people save up medication or whatever they're doing in prison just to get themselves out of the game, to get themselves out of the way for Christmas Day, so that they can wake up Boxing Day, you know. Not saying nothing too drastic, but you know what I'm trying to say to you. You know, if you can get your head out of that space for them few hours, you know, and still be okay the next day, then that's what we used to do. But in prison, what happens is this is the regime. You know, I didn't look at it with this mindset years ago. Believe me, I didn't. You know, I hated screws with a vengeance. But now I'm at a different, you know, a mature age. Reformed myself, got myself off of drugs, and I'm in a really good situation in life. I am now. I look at things a little bit different. But back in the day, in jail, Christmas Day, all the screws wanted to do was get in, you know, in and work, go to work quickly, get it out of the way, do the roll check, do what they've got to do with minimum effort, and go home. So that means that all inmates up and down the UK are behind their door on Christmas Day. There's no association whatsoever. So, you know, if it wasn't Christmas, on normal circumstances, you know, despite what prison you're in, but many prisons have a bit of association. That means like you'd be out of your cell for an hour, play snooker, play pool, have a shower, go on the phones, have a chat with a few of your mates, do your bit of wheeling, dealing, and do whatever you're doing. Christmas Day in prison is a lockdown. You don't get no breakfast. Nowadays, you don't get none anyway. Years ago, you did. You woke up in the morning, went down for your bit of breakfast, which was 9 o'clock in the mornings, and it was normally a fry up. So you'd get a hard egg, rubbery, overcooked, a streaky bit of bacon with no meat on it, just fat, you know, a few tomatoes, a bit of fried bread, what had probably been out of date bread, and then you was put back to your cell. So, but nowadays I believe that you're getting your breakfast the night before. So that's what happens in jail today. You'll get your breakfast on the servery at tea time, and it's in the way of a breakfast pack. So it's like in a sealed bag. You get cereals, a little carton of milk, and a bit of tea and coffee. That is it. So I don't know whether they still do that Christmas Day. But back then, for me, it was a little bit of that fry-up, which was a load of junk. You couldn't eat it with your eyes closed, to be totally honest with you. You wouldn't give it to the dog outside, and that's the truth of the matter. And then you was locked up in your cell until around 11 o'clock in the morning. So your door was open, you know, 8:30. Went down, got your bit of thingy, and you was behind your door normally by about 8:45. You was banged up then till 11:30. Then you went down to the hot plate 11:30 to get your bit of dinner. You might get the thinnest bit of turkey you could ever see. Actually, it's no bigger than a Rizzler. Cold. You get a few roast potatoes, which look like they've been beaten up and sent round the block a few times, out of date spuds. Normally hard, solid, really horrible. and you get a bit of a Christmas dinner. You might get a bit of a pudding in the way of a thing called a duff and a little bit of custard, but I doubt it. But back then, that's what we got, you know. Little bit of duff, bit might have been a bit of Christmas cake and a little bit of custard, but not enough to fill a child up, to be totally honest with you. And then you put away behind your door. Now, again at four, yeah. So again, probably around 4 o'clock or something like that, they would let you out of your cell for half an hour to use the phone to ring your loved one and to have a shower. And that was it. You was literally put behind your door. There was no association whatsoever. You know, you was let out really just to go on the phone and have a shower. And the minute the screws unlocked your door, they was looking at their watch like that, waiting for it, tick 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 tick. You know, you was out your cell 10 minutes, and then they was screaming out, lock up, lock up, lock up. And that is basically it until the next day. So Christmas to every inmate up and down the country is a very, very emotional, hard time, especially if you're married, you've got kids. And also what I found is even on the outside, Christmas is an emotional time for people, you know. There's many arguments in most families up and down the country around Christmas time. There really is. So yeah, even outside, you know, people do argue, but inside it is a very depressing time, and it's the worst time of the year, Christmas Day. You know, you can only speak to your loved ones once, and that one phone call will probably be, you know, for a maximum of 5 minutes, and you're standing in a queue, and then, you know, you can imagine you've got the whole wing. There might be 150 people on your wing, you know. You've got like probably, I don't know, 20 plus people standing behind you, waiting to get on the phone, and you've only got a limited space of time. So you can imagine, you know, there's a lot of arguments, a lot of fights break out over phones. I've seen some horrific punch ups. I've seen people getting stabbed up over a phone. You know, what would happen was two people would have a bad bit of blood, have a bad bit of beef, you know, from probably behind the cell. They'd be shouting out the window, and then the screws would obviously let everyone out, and you know, one of the inmates would have clocked the other inmate whilst he was on the phone. And you know, you could be on the phone to one of your loved ones, and you got the inmate who you're arguing with out the window, like rearing up at you, if not trying to take your head off. One of them ones. So yeah, especially around Christmas, there's a lot of fights in jail, because, as I said, there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of feelings, you know, and it's a horrible time. It really is a horrible time. But for me, at the minute, I'm outside. I've been out since 2010. Last bit of bird I got was 2000. Bit dry now, in 2007. Got out in 2010. Been out since. I'll be back at you soon, guys. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Peace.